Government reaffirms commitment to protection of humanitarian workers in the country. National Review Commission team briefs church leaders in Wau Town on constitutional making process. And Central Equatorial State authorities direct security organs to crack down on criminals in Juba and other parts of the state. A very good afternoon and welcome to SSBC English News, coming to live in the national capital, Juba, with me, Abraham Aken. We thank you all for joining us. The government has reaffirmed the commitment of protecting humanitarian workers to ensure smooth delivery of relief assistance to the vulnerable communities. The Vice President for Economic Cluster, Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, made the assurance in a meeting with the UN Residents and Humanitarian Coordinator, Anita Kiki, who paid him a courtesy call on Wednesday. Speaking to the media, Kiki says their discussion broadly focused on strengthening cooperation between the government and the United Nations to advance peace, dialogue and humanitarian aid delivery in the country.
It was an opportunity to talk about peace, the importance of dialogue, some priority areas and actions that are currently taking place. It was an opportunity to talk about access, areas that we would like to ensure we have access to in order to meet the needs of people. His Excellency, the Vice President, assured me that government and his office in particular would support us in reaching people in need in priority areas.
The Vice President for Infrastructure Cluster, Taban Dengai, has received a briefing from the newly appointed Minister of Transport, Rizieq Zakaria Hassen, highlighting the importance of continued coordination and the smooth handover process that followed his assumption of office. Rizieq, in a statement, emphasized the Vice President's recommendations on improving performance and service delivery within the transport sector.
The infrastructure cluster, that was the first aspect. Also, I briefed him about the process of handing over and taking over from the ministry from my predecessor. And also, I briefed him from the basic principles of the ministry, which I have realized about the legal frameworks and about the establishments and so on and so forth. In brief, that was the purpose of this meeting. But hopefully, when we deep into the actions, then the updation will follow it. Otherwise, the meeting was so successful. And I have heard his advices and guidance of how.
The National Ministry of Cabinet Affairs has conducted an induction forum on cabinet working principles and decision-making processes for Jonglei State ministers. During the workshop, Minister Dr. Martin Ilyalomoro urges participants to apply the knowledge gained to enhance efficiency in the various institutions. Jonglei State Minister of Cabinet Affairs, Kwong Nyond, and the Deputy Secretary General of the government both noted that induction workshop covered procedures for executive and legislative coordination, calling on those on other state cabinet affairs ministries and the three administrative areas to conduct similar training to harmonize work across government institutions.
Part of the team that came from Jonglei State, we really want to first register our heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Minister for giving us audience and giving us time to take us through what the cabinet affairs entails and what we should do at the state level. It is on the basis of that that we really want to thank the Minister and his team for taking us through. We've really learned a lot. The session has been very, very insightful. We've been taken through a lot, and I must confess that there are new things that we've learned, and it is those things that shall inform the course of our duty at the state level, so that we deliver to our people.
We've taken them through inductions that pertain to the state cabinet decision-making process. We have also taken them through the roles and functions of the state executive and the state ministries and independent institutions, as well as the roles and function of the ministers in the state, the role of the Secretary General in the state, and the role of the Director Generals in the state. We have also taken them through the cluster configurations. They are configured into 3 clusters: the governance cluster, the economic cluster, and service cluster. So we expect to do this to all other states in the Republic of South Sudan, including the administrative areas. So we're working on organizing a conference where all the state ministries comes in the national level so that they can be provided induction. The purpose of this is to provide harmony in decision making in the government.
A government delegation comprising Governor of the Bank of South Sudan, Dr. Addis Ababa Otto, headed by the Minister of Finance and Planning, Atian Ding Atian, has returned to the national capital, Juba, following the conclusion of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank Group annual meetings in Washington, D.C., United States. Briefing journalists at Juba International Airport on behalf of Finance Minister, the ministry's Director of Communication and Media Tech, Stephen Ogut, says the delegation, while in Washington, D.C., held high-level discussions with officials from these international financial institutions, the United States and other international partners, focusing on macroeconomic stability, concessional financing, and development cooperation, among others.
The delegation engaged high-level discussions with IMF and World Bank, U.S. government, and bilateral partners, focusing on macroeconomic stability, fiscal reforms, and concessional financing. The team also highlighted South Sudan's fiscal reforms and homegrown economic progress on public financial management reforms, exchange rate stabilization, and transparency in oil and non-oil revenue management, aimed at restoring the country's macroeconomic stability, strengthen governance, and promote inclusive growth. The delegation also held discussions with key partners, including Africa Exim Bank, Africa Trade and Investment Development Insurance, and Africa Development Bank. And all these meetings were aimed at strengthening economic ties between South Sudan and these development partners. During the meeting, the team also met with Mr. Ahiko Nishio, the Vice President for Development Financing, and Mr. Ndiame Diop, the Vice President of Southern and Eastern Africa at the International Finance Corporation, IFC. The team also engaged on importance of the World Bank support in critical sectors of the country's economy, including in areas such as health, education, humanitarian, and agriculture sectors. On the sideline of the IMF and World Bank annual meetings, the delegation also met with officials from the U.S. government, including the U.S. State Department, where they discussed bilateral talks between South Sudan and the U.S., which is centered on collaboration and other financial cooperation. This is the statement on the return of the Honorable Minister and the Governor of the Bank of South Sudan and the accompanying delegation who returned today, 22nd.
To Wau Town, Western Barakazal State Capital, Wau now, where the National Minister of Health, Sarah Clitorial, affirms an unwavering commitment to enhancing health services across the country. The minister stated this during a meeting with Western Barakazal State officials. In a statement to SSBC, Governor Sharif appreciates the role being played by the National Ministry of Health in improving medical supplies to the state.
So our future planning, our plan for the future intervention includes training, as you have mentioned earlier, training programs and partnership to ensure the long sustainability of quality healthcare in the state. There were several things that are important. We just want to go back to some of the requests, because they mentioned the ambulance. I know we all remember when the president visited here in 2023, when I was the governor. President donated to us 2 ambulances, and we still did not receive it. I've followed up, we've been following up, and I don't know whether the ambulance came and it disappeared somewhere. Did not reach Western Baragazan, but I know some of the states, they got their ambulances. We have to follow up with the office of the president and see where that is. We have to remind the governor as well to bring that up to the president when he has the chance to meet. The other concern that has also come up, and I'm sorry I did not get a chance to visit the blood bank yesterday, and I was just saying, even when I go back to Juba, the staff in Juba will not be happy that I did not visit the blood bank. But there are issues.
The issue of centralizing all things at the National Ministry of Health. I want to put it clear as our stance, Honorable Minister. Their status need to be cared of in terms of mobility and other things, because if there is a case now in Raja in Boro Medina, they need to.
A one-day dialogue on media and law has been officiated by the Deputy Minister of Information, Communication, Technology and Postal Services, David Yao Yao, to explore the balance between the media freedom of expression and the hate speech. In his opening remarks, the Deputy Minister David Yao Yao emphasized that freedom of expression should serve as a force for unity rather than division. The German head of mission, Gregory, highlighted the importance of freedom of speech. The speakers advised journalists to uphold factual reporting and professional neutrality.
We must continuously divide the boundaries that ensure this freedom serves as a force multiplier for unity, not divisions. The theme of the gatherings, media and the law, understanding the lines between the freedom of speech and expression and the hate speech in South Sudan. It is not merely academics. It is a foundation pillar of our future. It has us to confront the delicate balance between the constitutional right to speak freely and the solemn responsibility we bear to protect the fabrics of our social cohesion.
Freedom of speech and freedom of the press are not merely abstract principles. They are the oxygen of democracy. Without them, no society can actually claim to be free, no government can truly be accountable, and no people can meaningfully participate in shaping their future. Yet, as we know too well, these freedoms are not absolute. They come with duties to truth, to respect, and to peace. Balancing these principles has challenged societies across the globe, including Germany, where I come from. And it is a question that South Sudan, as a young and vibrant nation, must continue to navigate carefully.
In our training with young journalists, I always say, if one side says it's raining, and the other side says it's not raining, is it your role as journalists to present these two opinions as equal ones? Or is it your work to go out there and feel whether there is rain coming down or not? I don't think that journalism is about being neutral.
The Ministry of East African Community Affairs, in collaboration with the South Sudan National Youth Union, has convened a national consultative meeting on gender and community development under the theme East Africa Youth Policy Stakeholders Consultation Project. Under the theme, enhancing youth participation in regional policy and decision-making processes. The meeting highlighted the importance of youth engagement at the regional and continental levels. In her opening remarks, the Ministry's Under-Secretary Mary Eleriwani reaffirmed the Ministry's commitment to coordinating and facilitating youth activities to ensure South Sudanese youth are well represented in the East African Community programs. The chairperson of the National Youth Union, Taban Paride, appealed to the government to provide more opportunities to build the capacity of young people to represent the country effectively at the regional and international platforms.
We hope, together with you, we'll be able to plan and make the best of every situation. We are not going to stay and keep back, thinking that our challenges are not surmountable. We are able to overcome all the challenges if we sit together, we plan, and we make use of whatever resources that we have at hand to overcome these issues. So I'm happy that the youth they have taken this initiative to mobilize and come together and make this consultative meeting possible here.
We have the East African Youth Council, as I say, and the policy that I don't know what happened, that we as a country, we did not do the consultation. This goes to our government. You know, sometimes when we go to these regional sittings, we are always finding challenges over challenges. You'll find when they said South Sudan, you'll find maybe one person who have gone through his effort to go and represent the whole country. So which I really don't know what is happening. We need to strengthen our line ministries to make sure the youth are given these opportunities to go and.
Reverting your attention now to major developments at the SPLM National Secretariat, where the ruling party has officially responded to the claims leveled against the party by its disgruntled senior member Nyal Deng Nyal, who defected and formed his own movement to oppose the mother party SPLM. During the news conference on Wednesday in Juba, the party secretary for political affairs and mobilization, Bol Makweng, expressed the party's disappointment and described Nyal's defection as surprising and regrettable that fits only betrayal of the liberation struggle. Makweng further strongly rejects the allegation made by Nyal, citing government failing to conduct possible nationwide disarmament and protect lives and property. He reaffirms the SPLM's unwavering commitment to unity, peace, and national development.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, good morning. I just want to read to you this position of the SPLM in response to the defection of Comrade Nyal Deng Nyal. Fellow comrades, ladies and gentlemen, the Sudan People's Liberation Movement, SPLM, received with a profound shock the declaration made on social media by one of its senior members, Honorable Nyal Deng Nyal, on 15th October 2025. Honorable Nyal Deng has been a distinguished and a senior member of the SPLM since its inception, having held numerous key positions within the movement, the government of South Sudan, and the government of the Republic of South Sudan. Within the party, Honorable Nyal served as a member of the Political Bureau and the National Liberation Council. In the current government, he serves as a member of the revitalized Transitional National Assembly, representing the SPLM. Honorable Nyal was one of the leading negotiators for the SPLM during the Naivasha peace talks that culminated in the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, CPA, signed on 9th January 2005. This landmark agreement secured the right to self-determination for South Sudan, leading to the 2011 referendum and eventual independence. Between 2005 and 2008, in the government of South Sudan, he served as Minister of Regional Cooperation, the equivalent of Foreign Affairs. From 2008 to 2011, following the tragic death of Honorable Dominic Dimdeng in a plane crash, Honorable Nial was appointed Minister of SCLA and Veteran Affairs, replica of the current Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs. Post-independence, Honorable Nial held several significant portfolios, including Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Presidential Affairs, Presidential Envoy, and Chief Negotiator on behalf of the government for the implementation of the revitalized agreement on the resolution of conflict in South Sudan, RRCAS.
In a separate development, the Upper Nile University Student League has officially launched its college congress at the SPLM National Secretariat in Juba under the theme Together to Consolidate a Democratic Foundation. The SPLM Second Deputy Secretary for Administration and Finance, Baba Medan Konyi, graced the event organized by the Office of the SPLM Secretary for Popular Syndicate in collaboration with the SPLM Students League at Upper Nile University. Addressing the gathering, Baba Medan emphasizes the importance of unity among students, commending their efforts as a reflection of a strong commitment to national development. He urges the students to remain united and resist any attempts to create divisions among themselves.
Our work from the Senior Secretariat of Popular and Syndicate Organization is to taught our kids, our students, our future leaders النظام الديمقراطي عشان هم قيادات بتاع بلد بكره وبعد بكره in the name of SPLM. Work for the unity among yourself. Comme senior وانا داير نشيد بالستودنت بتاع جامعة النيل هم أكثر ستودنت بيحافظوا للعملية بتاع روتيشن للأقاليم بتاع جنوب السودان الثلاثة. The current chairperson now is from Greater Equatoria. Now the chance is going to my student from Greater Bahr al-Ghazal. I don't want you to fight among yourself. نحن دايرين نعمل تبادل سلس للسلطة عشان أنا جبال قلت أنتوا قيادات المستقبلية للريبابليك of South Sudan.
Today is your day as a students' league from University of Upper Nile. This University of Upper Nile is SPLM 99.9%. احنا بنؤمن بالدور السياسي القايم به جامعة على النيل على مستوى بتاع منابر.
We now go for a break, and when we come back, we shall look at Central Equatorial State Security Committee meeting directing security organs to intensify operations against criminals and other unlawful activities in Juba and other parts of the state. Please do stay with us. Welcome back from that short break, and in case you have just joined us, this is SSBC 1 PM News coming to live in the national capital, Juba, with me, Abraham Aken. Now, the Central Equatorial State Security Committee has directed security agencies to intensify operations against criminals and other unlawful activities in Juba and other parts of the state. The directive followed the committee's weekly meeting chaired by Governor Rabi Mujung Emmanuel at Munuki Block Council on Tuesday. Speaking to SSBC, State Minister of Local Government and Law Enforcement Agency Leon Abe Brown appealed to residents to respect the country's law and cooperate with security agencies to curb crimes within Juba and its surroundings.
After the deliberations, a learned time of deliberations, the Security Committee found a number of issues raised of concern. One of that is the playing grounds. It's still that playing grounds which have been taken by the individuals is still existing, despite the papers or the communication that are communicated from the President's office for those individuals to stop. The State Security Committee has directed the sectors to arrest on the activities of the neggers. We found that people are now trying to erect or building hostage at the cemetery. Cemetery, we have to respect. These are a place that no.
The UN Humanitarian and Resident Coordinator Anita Kiki says United Nations mission in South Sudan, UNMISS, is planning to close its field office in Eastern Equatorial State capital Torit, citing the global funding crisis that has compelled the mission to scale down its operations by 50%. Anita was speaking to SSBC in Torit town after meeting Governor Luis Lobong Lojore, where she reiterated the United Nations' continued support to the people of South Sudan. Governor Lobong commended UNMISS for its long-standing partnership with the state government.
To Torit today with a small team to come and inform the governor that we are planning to close down the office here in Torit, and to assure him that even though the mission is scaling down in Torit, one, we're not leaving the country. Two, we are not abandoning Eastern Equatoria. We are beginning a discussion on how we can work together to ensure that priority activities continue to move forward, and also to look at what we try and do as we draw down to support the state's priorities. This is happening because of global funding cuts. We have received the instruction to reduce our budgets by 18%. Because our budget year has already started, this means that it's more like 25%. And so this means we've had to make hard decisions, and that the fact that we feel confident to withdraw from Torit is a testament to the work that has been done here to maintain peace and stability. We recognize that there's still challenges, so we will continue to engage to try to understand what it is we can continue to do to support the governor and the people of Eastern Equatoria.
They have come and brief and share with the state government the plan to close the office of UNMISS here in Torit. And we have shared a lot, as you have heard from her. It is a condition because there is global challenges all over, and it is not only here in Eastern Equatoria alone, not only in South Sudan, it is all over the world. And we said, though we wanted them to stay longer, maybe until after the election, but the condition that has been enumerated is accepted. And I said we welcome the idea, and I promise her that we will work, the state government will work to make sure that the closure here go very smoothly, and we will continue to cooperate with the staff of the UNMISS here. And again, it doesn't mean that they are going for good. They will still be saving us from Juba, and I want to the people of Eastern Equatoria to be patient and wait until that time.
Crossing back to Western Barkazal State, where the National Constitutional Review Commission team led by Robert Loki Ladu has convened with Bishop of Wau Catholic Diocese Matthew Remigio Adam to share his perspectives on the constitutional making processes. During the meeting, the team briefed the bishop on the activities and highlighted the importance of involving church leaders in shaping the country's permanent constitution. The discussion also focused on constitutional issues related to religious freedom, which both parties agreed should be clearly addressed and safeguarded in the new constitution. In a significant step for inclusive governance, women in Eurolease County in Lake State have presented demands to the National Constitutional Review Commission advocating for their inclusion in the country's permanent constitution. These demands touch critical areas ranging from women's economic empowerment and social welfare to security and fundamental rights. A team from the National Constitutional Review Commission is currently in the county for civic education and public consultation on permanent constitution-making process. SSBC's Stewart Abugo reports from Eurolease County, Lake State.
Voices of women in Ural East are making an impact in the ongoing process of drafting South Sudan Permanent Constitution. During a recent consultation meeting with the National Constitutional Review Commission, local women clearly articulated their priorities, calling for their concern to be enshrined in the nation's foundational law. In their consultation with the NCRC, Ural East women presented key demands for the permanent constitution, focusing on social and economic reform, a 50% increase in the budget allocation for women, construction of hospitals, schools, and water points, alongside overall education improvement, compensation for women work during the liberation struggle, outlawing forced marriage, enshrining security for all citizens in law, and implementing disarmament across South Sudan. The NCRC Deputy Team Leader, Mary Agol, confirmed their mission is for civic education and consultation.
We have been talked a lot and sharing about civic education and public consultation as NCRC, National Constitution Review Commission. Later we are going for the chiefs, we are going to meet the youth, women share with us their challenges and barriers that's supposed to be documented in the Constitution, and this is why we are here.
Women representatives expressed satisfaction that their critical voices were finally being heard. This consultation in Ural East County highlighted the vital role of grassroots input in the constitution-making process. The priorities submitted by the women provide the NCRC with clear demands for advancing both gender equity and meeting basic human needs in the new permanent constitution. For SSBC News, Stewart Abu.
And that story brings us to the end of our news. And in case you missed our news for this hour, you can also find more on our YouTube channel, SSBC Official. From me, Abraham Aken, and the whole team here, we thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.